Hi, um, this is just a short video segment, and we will be covering some material in chapter one, um, the alphabet in particular, um, and in particular, writing the alphabet. The other information you should be able to get from the videos from Dr. Campbell. And you also have the class videos from these weeks that were given back in October, November, and December. So I am just taking the time to explain how we write the alphabet. I'm not going to repeat the information that is contained in those videos. Um, if you are taking these classes for the first time or you're reviewing these classes, this is only a brief video about the alphabet itself. I'm going to share that page with you, which in your textbook, I believe you should have this is the sixth edition. You may have the fifth edition, I'm not sure. They are not very different, except that the page numbers are different. The alphabet chart or the letters of the alphabet are listed in this edition on page 32. It may be on page 30 in the fifth edition if that's the one you have. If you're asking what's the difference between the fifth edition and the sixth edition, it says sixth edition underneath here somewhere here. Sixth edition, if you're wondering what the difference is mainly the last appendix in the book about Logos, a software program. And we don't even cover that information in this course, so we will not be missing those pages. The main problem will be that if the page numbers are incorrect, because I don't have the fifth edition here. So if you're in your book, the alphabet is given on page 30. On page 30, I think that might be the case because of some page numbering differences. Please know it's this page with the chart of the alphabet that we're looking at. Now, I'm going to take that chart and I'll just share that chart with you briefly. Let's see. Here we are. I'm sharing my screen with you, and you should be seeing, hopefully, this chart on page 30 or 32, depending on which edition of a textbook you have. And you'll notice that we have 24 letters in the Greek alphabet in groups of 4 here, 12 on this side, and 12 on this side, altogether 24. And the names of the letters, which are not necessarily the sounds of the letters, that's given for you in the next chart on the next page, what the sound is. But you can learn that from the other videos. I don't want to repeat that material here. Also, I would suggest strongly that you use the, once we cover the sounds of the alphabet and the sounds of the vowels, that you go to the links and on the Gospel of John, chapter 1, and that you use that chapter and watch that chapter being read. Turn down the speed. You can do that on YouTube. Put down the speed to half speed and listen to the chapter 1 of John being read. Not because you can understand the translation, the Greek, you can't. Not this early, but you can learn to hear the sounds, and that's what we want to do here at the beginning. So let's go through the alphabet: alpha, beta, gamma, delta. The first 4 letters, and we'll talk about how to write them in just a moment. These are the names: alpha, beta, gamma, delta. And then the next four are epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. This is not eta, this is eta. That's how we pronounce this letter, eta. So epsilon, zeta, eta, and theta. And here is how it is written in lowercase. And you notice it says Greek alphabet lowercase letters. We will learn the uppercase, but only kind of incidentally. As we go through, you will notice names like Jesus, and Ioannes, John, and we'll notice what an uppercase iota looks like, this letter, and other Simon, the name for Simeon, or Simon Peter. Starts with sigma, and they use an uppercase sigma in the Greek New Testament. But in general, the uppercase letters are not used very often. So right now, we are going to concentrate only on the lowercase letters. Most of the Greek in the Greek New Testament is written in lowercase, even at the beginning of sentences. So only at the beginning of paragraphs usually, or with names, do they use the uppercase letters. Originally, the manuscripts were written in Greek in the 1st century all in uppercase letters, but in the meantime, Greek has come to be written in lowercase, and it is that modern use that we are learning, even though we are using a traditional pronunciation, and we're not using the modern Greek pronunciation for the Greek New Testament. Now, I'm going to change to a different camera. I want you to concentrate here on this chart with the letters. The other letters are nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, which has two forms. At the beginning or in the middle of a word, looks like this, and at the end of a word, it looks like this. Or actually, we just simply write it like an English S, tau, upsilon. And the last four are phi, chi, ch is ch sound, chi, psi, omega. And I think I forgot to mention iota, kappa, lambda, and mu. Now, it's your responsibility to learn the Greek alphabet and also to give the Moodle quizzes. I think there is one on the alphabet in week 0. Week 0 because is called week 0 in the in October and November because homework number 1 corresponds to week number 1, and we gave everyone homework number 1 for the next week. And so we called the first week first time we met together, we called week 0, class number 0. Let me spend just a few moments. I'll stop sharing this screen and you go ahead and look at that screen. I'm going to use a different camera, one from behind, and I'm going to just go through. Let's see, here they are. I think I have some pages aligned the other direction. No, apparently not. That's okay. We'll use these, and I'll try as much as possible to lean this way. And you practice writing along with me. The first letter is alpha. And you notice I'm going to write the letters primarily between the lines. Alpha is not an A, so it's an ah sound, an A sound, but and it is like the A in English, but it is not written like an English A. You start at the top and then come down and make a loop and come to the bottom. So if you write it nicely, and I don't always write as nicely as I should, especially in a hurry, you will find it easy to do in one stroke. And by the way, also in the textbook on page, let's see, if we take the textbook, I can show you. In my textbook, it's on page 37, maybe page 35 if you have the 5th edition. I'm not sure which one you have. Here is a list, hard to see, but here is a list of the letters of the Greek alphabet, 24, all in one line, the same as I am doing, between 2 lines, a top upper line and a lower line. And the stars show you where the author recommends that you start writing. So like I did, he starts at the upper right corner and comes down to the lower right corner. And with beta, it starts below the line, and we'll see that it goes above the line. There will be a few differences. For example, delta, he starts here, and I'll start in a different place. But you can do it either way. The main point is that it is nice and readable and not too messy. So alpha is actually a regular size letter, we will say. I call it a small letter because some of the other letters are larger. It is also a vowel, and if you will notice on the next page on the chart, it has an ah sound, ah, as in, well, I'm an American, so I wanted to say apple, but we use ah. Modern Greek uses a different pronunciation for some of the vowels, and Dr. Campbell in his videos gives you both the traditional pronunciation and the modern pronunciation, but we use the traditional pronunciation that is taught in most Greek classes. Alpha, the next letter is beta and starts below the line and goes above the line, and then looks like an English B. I'm going to have to get a different pen to write with. Looks like this one is not writing. Throw that one away. Sorry, we're in America, and in America, they don't refill pens very often. So this should be better. Start below the line and go above the line, and you have what looks like a round B. And it is a B sound, B. So if you put these two together, if you put alpha and beta, it would be ab, ab. I'll put the next letter, alpha, beta, gamma. Gamma will be the same size as alpha until it comes to the line, and then it will go below the line and look like a Y in English, but it's not a Y, it's a G sound, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma. And then the next letter is delta. I find it the easiest if you think of writing the number 8. And if you just start above here and come down and stop here instead of completing the 8. So do it like this. He starts here, I start up here, and you'll notice if I completed it, it would look like the English number 8. Latin numbers, they say, or Roman numbers, but I stop here so I can look like a delta. So don't write an 8, but start writing an 8 and then stop here. The alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon is a vowel E sound, and you write it by making a curve and putting a line in the middle. That's epsilon. Don't write an English E. Write your epsilon like this. So we have 2 vowels now, A and E. And we have three consonants: b, g, G sound, g. We don't have j. We have only g and d, the d sound, delta, hard D. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, and then zeta starts above the line, comes down and goes along the line, and then makes a little loop at the bottom. So we have two loops at the top, above the line, and then on the line, and at the bottom, you make another loop. Again, zeta. It's our Z sound. It's a soft Z, actually kind of a DS, Z, but just remember it as Z sound. We have one Z sound, or Z. We say in America we say Z, in England they say Z, and I think you say Z as well. So epsilon, zeta. Remember zeta. Look in the chart, and you'll see eta, not eta, but eta. And eta is looks like an English N that leans over, and the right part goes below the line. But it's not an N at all. It's a vowel sound, A. It is the long version of A. Epsilon, eta, A. So we have three vowels now: alpha, epsilon, eta. So if I don't have a word right now, so I'll just keep going. Zeta, eta, and then the next letter is a large one. Actually, these three are easy to remember if you remember zeta, eta, theta. In fact, I have a little saying, zeta, eta, theta, and he got fat. If you can figure that out, maybe it helps you to remember the order of these three letters. I don't know. Helps me. Zeta, eta, theta. Zeta, eta, theta. Zeta, eta, theta. Theta goes above the line. It starts, easy way is to start above the line and just make a line in the middle. Make kind of an egg, a large egg, and then put a line through the middle. You have theta. Theta. And then the next letter is the same size as alpha. I'll put alpha here again from the top of the page, and then I'll write iota, which is another vowel. But we don't pronounce it I, and we don't put a dot on top. It's I, the I sound. Sometimes it will sound more like E, depending on the word. So iota, it sounds already like E, doesn't it? Iota, but sometimes it has more of an I sound. The word for temple is Hieron, starts with iota, Hieron. I'll write it for you. It's actually a hard breathing, so it looks like he, that's an H sound, and this is an epsilon, and the letter we haven't had yet, rho, and two other letters we haven't had yet. An accent here, Hieron, Hieron, the word for temple. This is the word for temple. Notice I'm just showing you the iota, same size as alpha and the same size as epsilon. Now I better take this page off because I've made some confusion, I think, by introducing a new letter, some more new letters before they come. So we've had, let's write them: alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, sorry, that's wrong. Zeta, eta, and then we had theta, like an egg, and then iota. Notice iota is a line down, but it has a little curve at the bottom, but no dot. It's not an I. It is an I, but it doesn't have a dot. Iota, Kappa. Is it like an English K? So if you just write a K, actually these legs should come out from the middle. Kappa. Kappa is the K sound. And then lambda, the L sound, starts above the line, leans over, and then needs a leg to stand on. So you make it it's a large letter like theta and beta and zeta. Iota, kappa, lambda. The next letter is mu, and it leans over like nu. Looks kind of like an English U, except it has a line that goes below the line here. And this one stands on the line. So I use actually two motions. I think he actually starts below the line and then goes up. And that way you can do it in one motion, but I've gotten so used to doing it this way that I can't change almost. So mu, this is the M sound. The next letter is nu, and it looks like an English V, but you have to remember this is not the V, this is nu, the N sound. So it's like the English alphabet, L, M, N. Lambda, mu, nu, L, M, N. And the next letter is like in the English lambda, mu, nu. The next letter, though, is not in our alphabet, and it's one of the difficult ones for English students. It's Xi, and the way to pronounce it is K-S-E-E, Xi. It's actually the equivalent of our X, Xi. And it looks like a big E, basically, except you have a loop at the top and a loop at the bottom. This is the one that's probably the most difficult for students to write, so you need to just practice it several times. You can also go on the web and watch, get this information as well. So now we have kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, and then the lines here are a little different, but I think you can still see them. We have omicron, which is just simply an O, same size as alpha. So if I write it on this size, alpha, omicron. So that's the next letter. And then we call this letter P. In math, in school, you probably called it pi. But in Greek, in the New Testament, we call it P, not pi. And then the R sound is actually looks like an English P almost. It's round though at the top. It starts below the line and comes above, and it's a hard breathing R. Ro. It's the R sound, but it is an aspirant. Ro, ro. And there's the Greek word rhema, which means a word or utterance, or someone saying a statement. Not the main word for a word, but it is one word. It begins with an R. It actually, when the word begins with the R sound, with ro, sorry, this letter is a ro. You know it. Notice in the book it is spelled R-H-O because it's an aspirant. Ro. Yeah, it even has a hard breathing over it. Ro in the Greek New Testament. So P, rho, now we have sigma, which has two forms. One like this, you start like you're writing an English U, and then go over the top and extend over you close it and extend over just a bit. This is sigma, except at the end of a word, just use the English letter S at the end of the word. So if you have a word, sarkos, for example, which is one form of the word for flesh. Here is sigma, alpha, rho, SAR, Kappa, Omicron, and notice the sigma at the end is different from the sigma at the beginning, but it's the same letter. These are both sigma, and this word, I read this sarkos, flesh. It's a form of that word. The actual word is sarx, but the genitive form we call it is sarkos. So a and o. Here are the two vowels, and sigma at the beginning, sigma at the end, but they have two different shapes. Sigma at the beginning or in the middle, and sigma at the end looks like an English S. And then to complete the alphabet, we have still tau, which is like the English T and is the same size as alpha. Upsilon is the same size as well, and is I think the last of our vowels, the same size as alpha and omicron, tau, upsilon, and the last four letters are actually pretty easy to remember and easy to write. If you make an omicron and come down through the middle, you have phi. Phi, P-H-I. Phi is our F sound. Phi. The letter is phi. The sound is f. Phi. He looks like an English X, except that it's a large letter, but you don't notice it because it doesn't quite reach the top line and goes further below the bottom line. So, for example, the name of Christ is Christos, or Christos, the accent. I can extend this a little bit more up to the top. You notice the he is actually a large letter like beta and lambda, but that's because it goes down below the line further. Christos. We have a vowel here and a vowel here. Chris, sigma, Christos. Christos. Sigma at the end looks like this. So phi, he, and the next to the last letter is psi, which is an upsilon. Make an upsilon and put a line through it like a fork. Psi, P-S, ps, P-S. The letter is psi, and it's pronounced ps, P-S. And the last word is omega, which is like an English round W. So that is the last letter. The alpha is the beginning, and the omega, sorry, that wasn't very nice. Here we are, the alpha and the omega. Ah, yes, this is the last vowel, of course. O sound. Here we have short O, aw sound, sarkos, and here we have an O sound, as in omega, alpha and the omega. In Revelation, says Jesus says, I am the alpha and the omega. I am the first and the last. That was the first letter and the last letter of the Greek alphabet. So that was just to show you how the letters are written and how to move your hand in writing the letters. I sped through them. I'm assuming that you can read the book and learn the pronunciation by looking at the other class videos, but also at the practice reading. One other thing you need to learn are the sounds of the diphthongs, vowels that are put together that have two sounds. But these are on the presentation, on the also on the class video. It was only the writing that I thought needed some repetition and some explanation, and that is why I've added this extra video. to the class videos for you to watch. I hope this is helpful.